And part two. He just sat there in silence, shivering. I'm sorry, Lucky told his friends. I brought us here for nothing. You looked down at the ice in misery. Did you find what you were looking for, at least? Very few people survived the catastrophe of the nebula, said Frolix. I can't make sense of their stories. They're all talking about the strange shadow we saw in space. They say it created the wolf that eats the stars. They say this wolf devoured the Aquarius Nebula, and it's going to destroy the whole galaxy. Yes, murmured Major Dashwood, to everyone's surprise. His eyes were open again, and they were filled with dread. I was there. I saw it all. You saw the nebula when it died, said Frolix. Please, tell me what happened. The Major glanced sharply at the ceiling. A VidCam whirred above them, their heads. He waited for its gaze to move on before he replied, and when he did, it was in a whisper. I don't know if they can hear us, but these secrets are not for their ears, only yours. He glanced at Lucky. It's only right that you should know the truth. After all, the nebula was your mother's favourite place in the whole galaxy. It's where you were born. Did she ever tell you that? Lucky shook his head glumly. What did this matter now? She would have hated us for what we did, the Major went on, because we were the ones who did it. Humanity. We destroyed the nebula. But why, said Frolix? Why would anyone do a thing like that? We needed to harvest the energy of the stars to power our civilization and to help us fight the war, said the Major. He straightened his tattered uniform and sat up smartly, as if remembering better days. We developed a secret new technology, dark matter technology, like a dark matter bomb, but much more powerful. We call it the Star Burner. It cuts into the heart of a star, breaking apart the connections that hold stars together, making them release all their power, so we can siphon that power off, channeling it anywhere we choose. Without it, we could never maintain the space wall. Lucky's scalp prickled with horror. The space wall? Oh no, is that how you power it? By killing stars? We had to help humanity keep humanity safe, and besides we tested the Star Burner on one of the smaller stars in the nebula, far from any population centres. It should have been safe. It should have benefited everyone, but things did not go as we planned. As the dark matter connections unravelled, something strange and terrible was unleashed, something we did not expect. No matter how you looked at it, your mind couldn't get a grip on it. Your eyes kept sliding away. I've seen something like that, said Bixer. It was on Scorpio, just after the dark matter bomb at the centre of the wheel. It was so weird. I thought I was imagining it. Did you see it too? She turned to Lucky. Yes, he said, skin crawling. I did, and I think I might have seen it again somewhere, but what is it? Nothing, whispered Dashwood, his eyes sunken, hollow, haunted. Absolute nothing. It's the void that lies behind all reality, the negation of all things, the force that will one day destroy everything. That is what lies at the heart of a black hole, and that is what we saw when we killed the star, a black hole. Lucky shivered. But don't black holes destroy everything around them? Bixer asked the Major. If you were close enough to see one, why didn't it destroy you too? I wish you had, he replied. The black holes are made from the bodies of dead stars. The bigger the star, the bigger the black hole. The star we destroyed made a small one. It collapsed rapidly, and we were distant enough to escape it. Yet in the brief moment it existed, it was still strong enough to devour the whole nebula. The wolf that eats the stars, gasped Frolix, the blue fire sparkling in his eyes. But if the wolf is a black hole, how can you fight a thing like that? You can't. Major Dashwood covered his face with his hands, trying in vain to close out a sight he could never forget. If you've seen a dark matter bomb, scale it up 1,000,000,000 times and you'll understand why. You see, dark matter bombs damage the fabric of space-time just enough to reveal the merest glimpse of the void. Everyone who sees it feels profound despair. The mind retreats from horror and turns in on itself. Nothing matters anymore. Everything seems meaningless. This may happen at once, or it may take years. You may recover from it, or you may not. But sooner or later, you will suffer the living death. Lucky looked around the cave at all the people with black hole eyes. The captain, breathed Bixer. He flew through the dark matter bombs when he saved us. Remember, Frolix? Maybe he got the living death all those years ago, and he's been fighting it ever since. But something must have pushed him over the edge. Aquarius. Frolix shook his head grimly. I tried to stop him, but he looking straight into the star as it flashed. Aquarius, gasped Major Dashwood. Please tell me they're not using the Star Burner on Aquarius itself. It's going supernova right now, said Lucky, his mind flinching at the memory of the dying star's screams. That's where we saw the Star Burner on. I think that was where I saw the nothing again. Horror warped Dashwood's features. Before I was captured, I told them not to use it again. I warned them of the dangers. If a massive star like Aquarius dies before its time, the resulting black hole will be so vast, nothing could possibly escape. It will be the end of all worlds, the end of all stars, the end of everything. That was Gala's prophecy, said Bixer. If Aquarius goes, everything goes. It doesn't have to happen, said Major Dashwood. A last desperate hope flicked across his face. If only Thorntree and Theobroma would talk to each other and stop the senseless war. If only they would make peace. He bit his lip, shook his head. But how can there be peace? No one will make the first move. No one will back down. With a deep, dark sigh, he shut his eyes and his body began to shiver and shake in the cold blue light. No, he said, there is no hope. The end is coming and we cannot stop it. Death would be a mercy now. Roman 1. The wolf is here. The Astraeus of death cannot kill it, for even death will die.